will present this NGO to us, and then we will have a Q&A where each of you would be able to ask questions. So, kind of to you, Yulia.
Thank you, Georgi. I hope you can see me and you can hear me. My name is Yulia Dzuba. Good afternoon, everyone, and I'm here as a member of the board of PGA, which is Professional Government Association, and also a recent alumni from the London School of Economics and Political Science. So kind of member of our UK Student Society, former member already. So it's a pleasure for me to introduce the Professional Government Association of Ukraine today, and I would like briefly present who we are, what we do, and why PGA plays a unique role in strengthening Ukraine public administration, especially in the context of war, recovery, and of course EU integration. I hope you can see my presentation, and here you can see the brief information about PGA. So PGA was founded in 2014 by Western educated Ukrainians, and from very beginning this idea was simple but ambitious: to bring global expertise back to Ukraine and support reforms, transforming the public sector on its path toward EU integration. Today, PGA is, you can see in the numbers, 24 hubs across the EU and North America, over 3,000 members, of course, globally, over 20 universities now, associations and alumni networks around the world, and over 100 events in the last decade. So we already celebrated the 10 years, our anniversary, and keep moving, keep going. We work with the government, and we already addressed over 150 requests from the government of Ukraine. This is not just a professional network. This is an infrastructure of reform-minded leaders from all around the world. So here we can see our main activities, and our work focuses on four main pillars. First, we unite graduates of top global universities and channel their expertise into Ukrainian policy agenda. Second, we develop unique projects and research, including cooperation with the National Agency of Ukraine on civil service and international partners. Third, we currently support the public administration reform by bringing international expertise into reform implementation process. And of course, we do not only discuss reform, we help country and government staff it. You will see it later. A bit about our activities in the recent years, 2024 and 2025. I would say that I joined PGA only in 2024, so it's about my journey as well as a member of PGA. So within the last 2 years, PGA implemented several impactful initiatives. We conducted a large survey for the National Agency of Ukraine on civil service, supported by our EU partners, and exploring what motivates professionals, especially young professionals, including those who are currently abroad, to join civil service. And the results were released in January 2025. We also organized a side event at the Ukraine Recovery Conference 2024 as also 2025. This is one of the biggest events. Who don't know, this is the biggest event which happens only once in a year about reconstruction of Ukraine together with our Western partners. It's usually gather all top politicians, NGOs, private companies all around the world. We also supported the development of the public administration reform strategy up to 2030 through the Power Memorandum and Advocacy campaign. This is very important to say because our public service needs to be reformed, and that was part of our mission to help it happen. And through the generation of Ukraine leadership project with the French partners in the last year, we shared Ukrainians' wartime leadership expertise to help to prepare partners for operating. And of course, these projects, all of them, reflect the positioning and intersection of governance, resilience, and international cooperations of PGA. But I want to talk a bit about UK Hub because here should be somewhere. Okay, I think there's another, just a second. I will show you later, but there is a photo actually about our project in 2025. So we organized a really big annual conference in the UK Parliament. It was a flagship initiative last year with a UK Parliament, which the name was 11 Years of Resistance, and it held in the House of Commons. Over 100 leaders gathered to strengthen the UK-Ukraine strategic partnership. The focus was particularly on defense and innovations and recovery. We tried to demonstrate how Ukraine's battle test technologies and defense industry development contribute not only to the national survival and interest, but only to European security and long-term UK security as well. That was really important event. We invited to speak UK representatives from the Parliament, Ukrainian members of the Parliament, the representatives from the top ministries of Ukraine as well. So it was very high-level flagship discussion, and it contributes to the shared European security architecture. So we, after these events, in a few weeks later, we received good information that it was announcement of another agreement between UK and Ukraine regarding the cooperation in defense sector. So I think that was a very successful event. And as I mentioned, we gathered over 100 applicants. A bit about our unique value. As I mentioned, we unite to support over 3,000 Ukrainians who are guided by values and integrity. And of course, we unite professionals who combine these two critical dimensions. But first, it's about global expertise, networks, and international professional experience, together with a second deep understanding of Ukrainian context, institutions, social norms, political system, and of course informal dynamics. This is dual competence is rare now, especially in Ukraine, but it allows us to translate international best practices into reforms that actually works in Ukraine's global complex environment. So yes, and this is our uniqueness, basically, especially during the wartime, as I mentioned, and during the EU accession negotiations. In other words, we understand that both Brussels and Kyiv need our support, and we can connect them effectively. Here a bit about our board. So every year we actually have elections because it's part of our actually procedures. That's how we run this organization within last 12 years. And every year we would hold elections. That's elections for this year already happened. And here we can see 12 faces of new board of 2026. We have a few members. They are currently serving in the front line. We have members from different NGOs, from the government, from ministries. So actually here you can see all type of expertise basically. And the most interesting, I think, for you might be the about membership, because actually we are recruiting people on a rolling basis usually, and we have two types of membership. Actually, it's a full membership and associated membership. There is some difference, and of course, full membership provides a full access to resources, events, and voting rights of organization, but it is designed for professionals with a strong academic or institutional credentials and international credentials. I would say this is mostly for those who already graduated from the uni, have a diploma in the hands, and could provide evidence of that, or at least 6 months of foreign public sector experience. Another one is associate membership, and we also have an associate membership board. This kind of people who have usually less expertise, maybe still not graduated, but let's say students, yes, or those are currently doing some different projects abroad. Usually, and associate membership supports talented professionals with a high integrity and strong potential, allowing them to grow within the network. In both cases, what matters most is a value, because professionalism and contribution, because we understand that we're gathering really important projects for Ukraine, for Europe and UK as well. So we are a community of responsibility. For more information about membership, you will find on our official website an application as well. Here you can see my contacts, our contacts. Here is email of the head of the board and my email. I could share also my private number in case anyone wants to speak more about PGA and have any questions after even this meeting. But from my side, it's just to conclude that Ukraine recovery and EU integration require more than fundings. It requires people, qualified, values-driven, and internationally connected professionals. That's why PGA exists, to mobilize exactly this human capital all around the world. And we strongly believe that we build bridges between Ukraine and its partners, between expertise and reform, and between resilience and transformation. So thank you so much for your attention, and I look forward to discussion and potential cooperation. Please don't hesitate. Here is a QR code. You can scan it and you will see there is application to join our network. This all from my side, but now I think we could start maybe, Georgi, with questions, if there is any. Georgi, I think you're muted.
Yes, thank you very much, Julia. Perhaps I can ask a first question. So I think that with PGA there is a tiered system of membership. So can you please tell us more about the kind of types of membership and how much they cost, if there is any kind of fees involved?
Good question, actually. I mentioned very briefly about two types of membership, which is full and associate. And usually for students, it will be associate membership, which could lead to full membership in the future, because we usually verify the diplomas. We have a system of verification, usually selection committee there. But regarding the fees and all these procedures, the last 12 years we actually worked a lot pro bono, and that's why the last 12 years we actually recruit people without any fees. But nowadays, because the current agenda is really sometimes we have grants, but we don't have enough funds for running our, let's say, internal procedures. Yes, so we are in the process of introducing a fees policy. But believe me, it's not going to be the massive fees. It's going to be only very symbolic fees for those who want to get access to our resources, opportunities, and events, basically. And we will have, of course, very reduced and reasonable fees for particular students, because we understand that students usually don't have enough funds for all these membership fees. That's why we have a special working group on fees. So it's a good question, but it's still not introduced, so you will have a chance maybe to join us before it's going to be introduced, actually.
So anyone is welcome to ask questions. Just unmute yourself, perhaps switch on camera if you'd like, and then you can ask a question to Julia.
I think you can also write your questions in the chat, just if you...
Yes, you can also write your question in the chat and I can read them out to Julia if you'd prefer that. While people are thinking, perhaps, I would like to ask you, it was said that, in one of your slides, that PGA began in 2014, right after the revolution of...
Dignity,
Dignity, yes, by overseas or internationally trained people. Is it known, I know that, for example, Artem Shaipov, who used to be here with his wife, is one of the founders, and that's actually due to his involvement in some of our projects with Oxford University Ukrainian Society here that we became partners. But can you tell anything more about it?
Yes, just briefly, because as I mentioned, I joined the PGA like 8 years later. But in general, yes, our team Sheipo and a few very active members of like Ukrainian society who did their masters or bachelors abroad, Oxford, Cambridge, and a few and other universities. I think they had an idea to. Let's say institutionalize the efforts they spent on helping government of Ukraine on reforms, because at that time there was particular needed because Ukraine started its journey as a potential candidate for EU membership. There was really a big request, yes, from the government of kind of expertise. So there was a first small group of active Ukrainians abroad with a very good background. I mean, the top universities, and they've decided to establish PGA. And later on, after almost already 12 years, we've seen that we now have all these amazing achievements, and the network is growing. But our team is still there, and all our, let's say, old members and our those who actually were in the roots of organization, they're still there. They're just helping us, and they're still with us because most of them now already like holding the high positions and helping government in very different ways. And we're glad to have them as PGA members.
Are there any questions at the moment
Yes,
from the
guys,
audience?
don't hesitate to ask maybe something you have in your mind. Oh,
Well, if not, then I can ask another question,
okay.
which I think could be quite interesting, like the answer to which could be quite interesting to other people. So, are there any examples of professional um, progression or career from kind of PGA membership into the government and further on? Like, are there any kind of exemplary cases of success or kind of impactful ones that you can tell us about?
Yeah, of course. I mean, there are a lot of stories, obviously, and the one which I really want to share, maybe it's the current ambassador of Ukraine in Australia, Vasil Miroshnichenko. So I know that he was also he joined PGA very earlier, in the early stages of development, and I know that at that time, government and president of Ukraine were willing to accept like candidates for different positions within the government of Ukraine, and we recommend I think 10 different professionals to the president who actually could be appointed for the different positions. And Vasil Miroshnichenko, as far as I know, he was in that list, and later on he was appointed as a ambassador, and he's currently one of the most successful ambassadors actually, not only in Australia but I mean Ukrainian ambassadors abroad, with a very huge achievements, and very well supported by Ukrainian community and Australian community in Australia. That's one of the cases which I want to highlight, but I'm sure there are a lot of different cases where actually currently thinking how we could give this expertise and maybe bring more professionals to the government of Ukraine, because that we realized recently that there is not enough professionals still, because there are a lot of vacancies within the government, which we hope will help to fill out with our members of PGA.
Mm, are there any events that you do in the UK? Because you say that you're a director of the UK hub for PGA. Like, what is happening in terms of the UK?
Let me try. Actually, I have another, for example. Maybe you'll see some photos. Actually, yes, we usually have different events, not only in the UK, but when you ask about UK, for example, the photo you might see now, hopefully, this is the photo from our flagship event, which happens in September last year. So we usually try to do such an events every year, and I believe that we will have something flagship this year as well. But apart of flagship events with key stakeholders, we also from time to time we have networking events in the UK. So we already had yesterday in London gathering together. We attended one of the LSE events together with our members. You will see the post on our social media accounts, and from time to time we meet together. We might have a informal discussion together with some event we are invited to participate. For March this year we are planning a very beautiful formal dinner, March or April, with our partners in Cambridge, organized by Cambridge Society there. So yeah, we actually have two types of event: the flagship, and those are like, let's say, monthly basis. Sometimes it could be online. We also share with our members different opportunities to participate, not only in events we organize, but the events we usually invited to participate within the UK partners list, because we are now expanding this list, and there are a lot of events, for example, provided by UK Friends of Ukraine, which is very very well known NGO in UK, in London, but also not only in London. So we're usually there, and we delegate our members to different events in the UK, making sure that we have a voice there. That's basically how it works. But as I say, we're kind of community, and we give everyone space. So if one member wants to organize something, let's say, yes, or have some idea, we always listen to these ideas and trying to implement them. So that's why we're currently trying to recruit new people, so we'll have more ideas and possibly more events to organize together with you, of course. So yeah. And of course,
We
Oxford
have one
Society.
question. Yep.
I mean, of course, Oxford
Yeah.
Society as an example, the event today. So we have a different types of, and we are very glad that we have this opportunity to present, because I think you're one of our key stakeholders in the UK as well, of course.
Thank you. We have one question from Yeva. It's I will read it aloud.
Sure.
As an undergraduate student, what would you say are the key benefits of joining via associate membership? And am I right to understand that you work directly with the Ukrainian government, i.e., are there any other organizations you work under / ones you collaborate / collaborated with before?
Mm-hmm. Okay, I will start with the opportunities for undergrad students. Yes. First of all, of course, you can easily apply for associate membership, and if you are really active, you can even join the board. We have associate membership board. Those people who actually advise to the board on what could be done better, or usually present different ideas. So I would say you can get first of all people network, because most of our members and associate members, they're very active, they have big achievements, and this is good linkages even before you will look for job, let's say in the UK or in Ukraine. It's nice to know people before you actually will actually grow and make your profile bigger and better. So I would say this is also good to mention in your CV, because it's a professional association. Yes. And then here you can implement any kind of project you have an idea. We usually support and look for grants for this kind of ideas and projects you might have in your mind. So we will try to support you in any way you want. You will have freedom to access to all our resources, access to all our events, as I mentioned, online and offline, not only in the UK, but around the world, in Europe, and now we're expanding our profile in the US. So all these opportunities will be there for you. And as I mentioned, this is access to people, because we usually have a direct access, yes, to the government of Ukraine. A lot of our current members hold in high positions in the parliament of Ukraine, in the government of Ukraine, appointed already. And we have a few partnerships already. We currently have advisors within some ministries. So I would say, for me, it was a good chance to join community. And once I joined, I've got tons of different contacts, and especially by attending events, being even associate member, because basically this is kind of still very good opportunity for you. And later, once you will receive a diploma, you can easily switch to full membership without any issues. It's going to be pretty quick for you. Regarding the cooperations and direct contacts, yes, I mentioned already, we cooperate. For instance, me currently, I'm engaged as a PGA member and helping as an expert to the High School of Public Governance of Ukraine, by bringing contacts and partnerships from same schools abroad, from top schools, not only from LSE but all around the world, from Italy now, from Spain, from France, from UK. So it's also helping me to kind of let's say, to practice, to get more contacts, and from both sides to get some insights for my future career path. And this is not only my experience, but experience of many of PGA members. And as I mentioned, even in the board, within the board, we have those who are already kind of working within the government or in the government of Ukraine. So yes, this is very short, but yes. Maybe I missed something, Georgi.
Yeah, so you can see the question itself in the chat, and I think Eva is typing something now.
Let me see.
So maybe she should like to ask a follow-up question.
There are any organizations? Yes, the list of partners.
Yeah,
Yes, perfect. No worries. The list of partners, this is a long list actually. I don't really even remember all of them, sorry, on our website, PGA. I hope that Georgi will share a link of PGA website with you. So there are plenty of different partners all around the world, and the UK as well, within the very proud Oxford Ukrainian Society, of course. Any questions?
Okay. I would like to ask a question if
sure.
No one else. So there is this UK hub. Does it mean that like there is a particular focus on the UK graduates and how many, like, what are the kind of country-wise representation in terms of the graduates? Like, do you have many people mostly people are from the UK or from the US or from Italy or from Germany or from some, let's say, other parts of the world?
Within our UK hub, do you mean? Yes, members of UK hub.
No, I mean, no, not within the UK hub, but in general within PGA as such.
As a members or as a partners?
Well, as your members. Actual members who are with your organization. Affiliated members, or associated members, or full members, like that doesn't matter.
Good question. I should admit that most of our members are Ukrainians, but not limited. So we used to have a very interesting member of the board of last year's. He was, as far as I believe, he was from Japan. He was member of the board. So we're kind of very open to foreigners, but still that there are not enough foreigners in our community, and I believe we would love to have more, but the majority of members, of course, Ukrainians who are currently abroad, so they want to contribute. But we are very welcome to any foreign students who want to contribute and help us, and we are very open. Both membership available as well. Yes.
I just received privately a question
Sure.
from one of the participants, and the question is there any think tanks that work with Ukraine that provide summer internships, potentially ending up as a political consulting or work for the government?
Well, so internship in the government and internship in the think tank, I believe it's a bit different things. So when it comes to internship, we used to have interns at the PGA. So we usually we because we are officially established organization, so we can have interns by ourselves if there is opportunity. And usually we used to have a few each year. We can currently we didn't establish some project about particular internship within some think tanks or the government of Ukraine, but that would be nice. And if there will be a request to us, I believe that's how we could offer these internship opportunities for the government of Ukraine and maybe some particular ministries, because some of them experience a lack of professionals there. So it would be, I believe, useful for Ukrainian government as well to have some, let's say, smart interns. But PGA itself always welcome interns to our community to try themselves, and we always try to navigate them, teach them, coordinate them, and even mentor them sometimes. So if you want to be our intern, don't be shy, just reach out and we will think about it.
Does anyone have any questions at this point? If not, maybe I can ask a couple more.
Sure.
I wanted to know if there is any governmental, like it's was written on your first slide that it is an NGO, meaning non-governmental organization, but
Yeah.
is there any support from the government of Ukraine with respect to your functioning? That's one question. Another question is, so this is a UK hub, like PGA UK hub, and why has specifically PGA UK hub been established, and are there any um, other hubs, like I don't know, US hub, or I don't know, Germany hub,
Yeah.
EU hub, something like this?
Thank you for your question regarding the hubs. Actually, we have hubs all around Europe and in US as well. So we usually try to establish the hubs in the countries where we have most of members. So let's say the biggest hubs currently the German hub and French hub. And then UK hub, Polish hub currently in the process of establishment, and then US hub as I mentioned. So we see how many members we have in different countries, and that's how we actually operate. And because to run the hub you need a capacity, you need a team. And regarding particularly UK hub, I think that we've seen that because of 100 years partnership was signed before, between UK and Ukraine. So there was a kind of sign for us that we need to be more active here and to be here to help, let's say, to work together, UK and Ukraine side. And when you speak about helping, if government of Ukraine help us, I would say it's usually vice versa. So we help government of Ukraine, and we are usually funded by different grants from EU or our partner organizations abroad, because as far as maybe you know that the budget of Ukraine currently is very limited, and the most of our funds goes to the front line. So we cannot ask the government to fund us, and usually NGOs are not funded by government because they are independent. That's why actually we are independent NGO, funded by different let's say NGOs and different funds abroad. Usually it would be EU funding, but not only. And we are currently expanding our profile and looking for more funds abroad. But we're not receiving any funds from the government of Ukraine. No.
I didn't mean specifically financial kind of support, but maybe like providing with all of the infrastructure and opportunities for internship with the parliament, with some other forms of governmental offices.
So this is basically what we usually help them with. Yes, so they usually invite us to different kind of events because they know our expertise already, and they usually would invite us to participate in different kind of discussion within different ministries and dimensions. And yes, we could currently we could, let's say, introduce something or propose something to the government, and then we will see if it's needed or not, and based on that we will take an action usually. So we consult with the government before we do anything for the government, just make sure that they really need it currently. So yeah, it's kind of both sides cooperation. So they tell us what they need currently, and we're trying to help with that, to cover that need.
Yeva has asked another question.
Yeah.
So, how would we reach out regarding work experience at PGA?
You mean if you want to work or work in the government of Ukraine, or work in the PGA, or what kind of work do you mean? Because we share, for example, we also have a monthly letter where we share opportunity, because we have a partners who seek for, let's say, different positions, experts, and we share within the community, and those people are usually applying as a PGA members. What kind of work opportunity do you mean? Do you want to work in the government or within the PGA, or you're just searching for something professionally?
Yeva is typing her answer
It's
to
okay.
this
It's okay.
clarificatory question. She has written, I mean both within PGA, as you mentioned that you are open to internships, as well as the Ukrainian government and partner organizations.
Sure. Just a second. So you can reach out regarding the PGA and internship in the PGA. You can reach out directly to me. Yes. I will just share now the presentation one more time, so you can see here my contacts. Yes, and maybe I'll just exclusively for you to share my number, or Georgi, maybe you will share within the community, so I will be able to answer your questions regarding internship, because we usually recruit, not let's say invite potential interns if there is any requests. Yes, you can share your CV, so we can see if we need this kind of expertise currently. This is my number. Yeah, so just don't hesitate to reach out, or if you will send your CV on my email, which is this one, you will get our response. But when it comes to different positions within the government, there are usually these kind of positions usually published. Yes, all of them published, because that should be published if you want to. And there are two types of position. Usually it's one of them, it's about a civil service, being a civil servant. It's requires, I believe, Ukrainian citizenship, and many other requirements are there. And experts, hired experts, usually funded by our EU partners. So if you're also searching for kind of initiatives, we usually send different opportunities via email to our members. But if you think where you want to work, any ministry or particular organization within the government, because it's a big machine, so also don't hesitate to reach out, and then I could advise you or suggest you where is currently there is opportunity for you to join, because actually now all the ministries daily post opportunities for experts to join. for different kind of experts, from the agriculture up to economic resilience, up to EU integration. So there are tons of expertise are needed currently in the government. So I hope I answer your question.
If there are no more questions at the moment, I can ask maybe one more.
Sure.
Perhaps one of the last ones.
Okay.
What are the kind of vision of development for PGA? Where are you expecting to see this organization in, let's say, 5 years?
It's a good question.
Or 10 years, yeah.
It's very tricky and good question actually, because we're going to have a strategic session, I believe, this year, probably in the March, where we usually will work on our strategic documents and how we will actually frame it within the next 5 years at least, because it's very hard to plan something within 10 years in Ukraine. Everything is changing so quick in the politics and policy of Ukraine, but we strongly believe that we can continue supporting reforms, transformation of Ukrainian public services, and help country to join EU. Actually, we will try to grow our hubs. We'll try to bring more members. We'll try to give them opportunities, but also make sure that they could contribute to welfare of Ukraine and Europe as well. And we are trying to build a very strong community where everyone kind of connected to each other. It's kind of Oxford community, but PGA community, which is much larger, let's say, like 50 Oxfords at the same time. And this is where we see ourselves as a key partner of the government of Ukraine on resilience and rebuilding, because I believe that once war will end, we're already working on rebuilding, but once war will end, we will need even more expertise. So we want to bring in more and more experts and make sure that they are involved in that projects, let's say, and we're visible there. But this is going to be discussed, as I mentioned, because we're currently preparing the agenda for our strategic session, and hopefully that we will publish it as well. We'll share it with you, Georgi, and maybe you can share with the wider community. Yeah.
I have so if anyone wants to ask a question, please raise your hand or just write it in the chat. If not, I have maybe one more question. So I had a chance to study in New Zealand, and you mentioned Miroshnichenko, right?
Yeah.
Who is ambassador to the UK and New Zealand, even though in New Zealand he is non-resident. I wonder if there are any other if there are any PGA members who are hailing, whose education is from New Zealand, and who are contributing to Ukrainian government, let's say.
This is this is very tricky questions, because we have over 3,000 members, and I'm only responsible for this UK based. So if you allow me just to ask those members of our team who are responsible on running this register of members, because actually I cannot answer. I just simply don't know if there is any. Probably, but I just don't know, because I'm not working with them closely currently. But this is a very interesting question. Let me check.
I'm asking this question because because of Pan Miroshnichenko, and because there will be kind of a symposium or a kind of a conference in Lviv dedicated to Ukraine-New Zealand relationships early in March.
Sure.
It would be good if people who are in PGA and who have education from there, or who have ties to New Zealand can come to that event and perhaps kind of show themselves show the opportunities and tell about the opportunities with PGA that people who studied there can have.
Yeah.
Just like a side
I saw that
thought.
announcement, and actually, I need to double check because it's a very good idea. Um, I saw that announcement of this event in Lviv because I was working with Ukrainian officials on participating in that event. But let me check, Georgi, and I will get back to you via WhatsApp because actually, honestly, I just don't know.
Yeah, if there are no more questions, perhaps we can wrap it up and call it a day. Uh, thank you very much for attending, and we would very much welcome you to other events of the Oxford University Ukrainian Society, and please do give a good thought about to becoming a member with PGA. And we are very sorry for this technical issue we experienced at the beginning of
No worries.
the meeting. So we will. I hope that we had a successful recording of this meeting, and we will disseminate to everyone who registered, and perhaps also publish it on our social media and our YouTube channel. When I say our, I mean the Oxford University Ukrainian Society, but perhaps something like this would also be done for PGA
Absolutely.
social media.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting us. Thank you for having me today. And it's absolutely a big pleasure for us to introduce PGA to your society. And I hope that this is not the last event we are collaborating on. And see you offline at some point. And of course, please join PGA. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Julia. Yeah, that's a separate things that need to go to you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone.